it didn't allow me to do a mic at the same. Hey,
Perfect.
does that help? All right. So I'm sitting here with my good friend John Shango out of Gary, Indiana. I've known John for, I don't know, 8-10 years now is my guess. Is that right? Does that sound right?
That sounds good to
8
me,
years?
yeah.
That's good.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Time flies. So John is a hobbyist magician, and he's done quite a few shows in this area as of late. So my goal with this podcast, the first podcast I had, a good mutual friend of ours, Keith Stickley, my lawyer buddy, my Carney buddy, my magician buddy. My joke was lawyer, Carney, and a magician. I'm not sure which one screws you the worst. You know, probably the lawyer is the one I got to look out for. But anyway,
You do know.
You do know, yeah. So my goal for this podcast is basically to enhance and promote an already, in my opinion, great little village, and I think the way to do that is with people that are go-getters and get stuff done and contribute. And John has helped with all kinds of events in town, Christmas in Colon, shows at the theater,
Fourth of July.
4th of July, all kinds of stuff.
Big Green Egg Fest.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the Big Green Egg. Did you help with the polka run?
Absolutely. We were in the dock all day, handing out,
right.
getting cards, handing out cards.
Yeah, I didn't get to leave my station.
Yeah, I understand.
So
I did not either.
Yeah, I know. And that's
It's a great event, Carl.
Thank you. John, I guess maybe I'll just shut up for a second and let you ramble on for a minute about what you are, what you're about, what you envision for Colon, and where we go from here.
You kind of gave my background already. I was born in Gary, Indiana. We call that the region. It's only a half hour from Chicago, so closer to Chicago than anywhere else. Grew up, got one brother, identical twin brother. His name's Mark. We're 18 months apart. It's quite a rough labor for my mom.
Yeah, I've never heard that joke before.
She still doesn't give us Christmas presents, but it was rough on her.
What are you up to?
It's the same height, 4 feet 20 inches.
Heard that joke 1,000 times.
It's because you asked me 1,000 times.
Yeah. I'm never going to ask him, what are you up to again, ever in my life.
But Gary, Indiana, great area, all kinds of fun stuff to do around there. It's called the region, Maryville, Cherville, Dyer, Crown Point, all kind of great stuff, fun stuff out there. Lived there my whole life. Started coming to Colon when I was like, I think 13 years old. Come to Abbott's Magic Get-Together, which if you don't know is this is going to be their 85th get-together. Every August they do this for going on 85 years now. So I started when I was 13, which was in 19... And been coming up here ever since, on and off. It's been fantastic. Met a lot of great people like yourself and many other people. I actually have a girlfriend as of this podcast.
You never know. Time is fleeting.
So it's fantastic. I love Colon. Been coming here for decades.
So did you come, like you came at 13, you said, did you come every year?
Not every year, but a lot.
So your parents brought you up here initially?
Yes, absolutely.
And then, so did you go a few years?
My parents were very supportive of the magic, and brought all of us up here, exposed us to a lot of magic. I saw Blackstone in South Bend, took me to the magic shops, Magic Incorporated for you magic geeks out there. In Chicago, one of the greatest magic shops ever, Jay Marshall, all those guys. Ash's Magic. So they very supportive, very supportive. That's how I got up here. Good. So thank you, Mom and Dad. Love you.
There you go. So then you obviously intermittent throughout your growing up and whatever.
Yep.
But I've seen you here now for
many years in a row. But I used to come up here infrequently, not as frequently, but I would camp up here. I'd stay in hotels. I'd sleep in my car. I'd do it all. I've done it all.
Where'd you camp at?
At Stanky's Resort. I think it's Stanky's, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
and at the high school, actually. I was at the high school for many years.
Oh, yeah, you and your
Mike Toth. He had a camper, so we did that. But I used to tent camp by myself up here in my little half-dome tent. It was a lot of fun, let's put it that way.
Yeah, and then, okay, we don't need to, And then I know you came up here, and I'm not really sure how we even met you. Probably met you at the Legion, I think. I feel like I met you and Toth together the same year.
It was either at the Legion or at Curly's, one or the other.
Yeah.
Back then, it was probably the Legion.
probably
I bet,
the Legion,
yeah.
which is a a must go to.
Hotbed of activity in Colon. The
Yeah,
place to be.
If you're in Colon Magic Week, the shows are
It's
8 to 10ish
incredible.
at the high school, and then for me the real shows at the Legion afterwards. It's just they stay till 2:30. The bar's open till 2:30, and then we own the pizzeria. We're between the two of them, and we're open till 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 3:30, whatever. Whenever the last magician or hobbyist or layperson leaves,
And
then
I've been out there 3, 4 o'clock in the morning on the streets when you close,
Throwing
just
cards.
sitting on the bench, just relaxing and chilling out and thinking about the wonderful time I had that evening. But yeah, the Legion is great.
it's a great place. Just a great place to meet people and kind of build the friendships and for me that's how we build Colon. And
Exactly.
And Colon, I always want to be careful how I say that because I don't want to act like we're going to build Colon. Colon's already built, and it's a great. I mean, I've said this on the last podcast. I say it all the time. I've never lived anywhere better ever. And from Ovid-Elsie, 2 hours north. I love Ovid-Elsie. My family's there. My wife's family's from there. But we don't have any lakes up there, and the lake ties so much together. Kids come home.
What is the biggest thing you like about Colon? You said
It's
it's the
so
greatest
funny.
place you've ever lived.
Stickly, I'm like, whose podcast is this? What the hell? Probably just the connections we've made, and again, when you have the lake, you have just opportunity to meet neighbors and stuff you might not meet in a normal in a town. I mean, the lake. When I say we have a lake, it's not just we have a lake 4 miles outside of town or 10 miles, which there are many, but it's adjacent to town. There's 2 of them that have the village limits are part of both of these lakes. Then you go down the channel here to the south and you hit Long Lake, the third lake, and it's just, and I'm gregarious. I like meeting people and having fun, and
Can you say gregarious on the radio on a podcast?
not very well, but I can. If I say it fast, I feel like did I say that right? Did I not say that
I didn't know
right?
what the rules are in
Yeah.
broadcast rules.
I try not to say Illinois.
We'd appreciate that.
Yeah, I try to, but I'm sure I have a full
Well,
ball.
I have to agree with you, Carl, because that, you would probably ask me the same question, and that is the biggest thing was the connections, all the people I made like
Yeah.
yourself, again,
Yeah.
everybody in town.
Yeah.
I know as many people as some of the locals know in town.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic.
Yeah.
You get out there and get in the community and
Yeah.
have at it.
Every town has that opportunity. I just think the lakes help. They're like a catalyst.
Sure.
They help facilitate it. And but yeah, any little town, if you have the right group of people, it just makes your life. It enhances it. But I've always said, I keep saying we have the magic, and we have the lakes, which are economic driver, and then the Amish flair. I mean, I love it. I love it.
Was it just came to your house from an Amish store?
Oh, you did?
Sunrise.
I haven't been out there lately in about
Fantastic
4
store.
weeks. I need to get back out there.
Love David, the owner. He's a nice guy, and it's just a great place to be. I wish we had one by us.
Did you buy a little something?
Yeah, we always spend more money than we anticipate when
I
we
like
go
it.
there.
Got the bulk candy. Bam. Grab it all.
All kinds of great hot sauces and barbecue sauces and spices, which is what I'm into.
You know that's something that probably doesn't get talked about enough. There are a lot of Amish artisan shops within just a few miles.
Oh, sure.
I use Emmanuel Yoder for welding. I've used him for 5 or 6 years. I discovered him maybe 8 years ago, and that's just there's woodworkers and there's carpenters and realtors and
they're all nice people, all the ones that I've met anyway and had interacted with. Yeah.
You're right. I think I need to upgrade this for a cough button. Dang, I don't know what. I ate a piece of candy over there, and I don't know. I like candy. Yeah, so that's one thing I hope. I don't know why I did that. Unscrewed it, screwed it back on without taking a swig. Ridiculous.
You are a jokester.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm just bouncing all over here. I don't have any notes. The only piece of paper I have here is for when I have a faux pas. Say something I shouldn't. I'm gonna write down the approximate time so that Jess can edit it out.
Well, what time in the video was that so people watching the video can watch you unscrew the Pepsi and then screw the cap back on without taking a drink?
22:06.
That was
that's
fantastic.
That's pre-editing.
It was fantastic.
That'd be a little bit sooner. I don't. Okay, of course, I guess the ticker would click forward. I don't know how
You
that
keep
works.
doing stuff like that, we'll put you in the show.
Yeah, I should be in a. I just want to do a one man, one night, Don Rickles type show. I think I could do that.
We want you to.
Line them up and knock them down.
I've seen you do it privately, and it's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Zip. No, not true. Falsehoods.
Very funny man.
Falsehoods.
Very funny man, Carl.
Anyway,
Not even just how you look. Just-
thank you. So, but back to seriously. I asked Keith this, and I'm going to try to ask everybody. What would you want to see moving forward? 6-month goal, a year goal, a 5-year goal. What can we do to help enhance town quicker, easier, better in your mind? I mean,
Well, I don't know. You need a little more retail. I've always said that in Colin. It's not really other than the lakes. If you have a boat, it's fantastic. But otherwise, there's no destination point here necessarily.
Yeah.
Now you have the Grand Magic Theater now, which is hopefully going to become a destination point. Got Sterlini's Theater, which could be as well. But you need some kind of business, antique stores, anything like that that would draw people in, like Marshall, Michigan, an historic town like that. I think that'd be fantastic.
Marshall has geographically they're unique in that with 69 and 94,
It's very
crossing right there. You can
easy
get
to get
anywhere,
there,
within half an hour from. I don't know that retail, but I do agree with you that an Amish store. And we've been talking to Lee Eicher,
Yep.
and Lee's an Amish gentleman that I know.
Mover and shaker, yeah.
Exactly, he gets stuff done. So we are seeing what we can fit.
Well, we need to integrate the Amish more in the community, obviously, and we've talked about that, and we've talked about it with
Yeah.
Lee at the meetings, chamber meetings, and things like that. But
Meeting Lee not meeting him, having him become involved has really helped. And then I'm glad so Lee Eicher has, there are 2 publications. One's The Busy Beaver. That goes out weekly, I think. And next time I'll have a copy of it here. It's
pretty thick, actually.
80 pages
At
of
least,
ads
yeah.
throughout the whole Michiana area here.
Mhm.
We're about 15 miles north of the Indiana border, so
Mhm.
it really hits a pretty good. It's amazing from a $15,000 horse to a $1
Exactly.
I don't know candy bar. It's amazing what's in there, and then
I just paid 33 cents for a Milky Way over at Sunrise.
That's good. That's very good. There is he has the other. I think it's called it's a phone book basically of all the Amish families, and
And that is a huge book.
you can get in there twice a year
Yeah.
for an ad, and that's well worth it. And then what they also have, not Lee, but I think it would be Jesse Hochstetler. It's called the Amish Blast, and I use that all the time. It's $25. Actually, you guys should use it for your upcoming show, which we'll talk about the show in a second. It's $25, and it reaches out to at least 400 families, and they do a 30-second, or a 15 or a minute. That might be too long. Little spiel. So I use it for the pizzeria, and the way I see it is now every business is different, but so I use it often at looking for help. We'll put a help wanted ad out, but okay, let's say I don't get anybody with a help wanted ad. Well, I just reminded 400 families, 1,600, 2,000 people. They're big families. Are just reminded of a 5-star pizza. So it's like, is that worth $25 to remind?
Absolutely.
If I get 1 pizza, 2 pizzas sold that night,
And how often do they do that?
I
I
believe.
can't remember.
So I'm on the schedule. I go once a month, and about every 3 months we'll redo it. Say we just started doing it maybe a year and a half ago. I can't remember, and but that is a not very well known in the English community point of what's the word I'm looking for? Advertisement.
Sure.
So whether you're a plumber, I know these guys they're busy as heck right now, but things are slowing down. And, when things slow down, that's when you want to advertise a little bit more, right? Right now, you don't need to advertise for any trade.
Right.
You're booked out 6 months or a year. But the time's coming. And if you're a new business to town, so I used a different Amish blast, Ginrich Media. I just used them down in LaGrange. And I think that has a little bigger reach, but it's also a bigger Amish community, about half hour south of here. So let's go back to the Grand Magic Theater, which we both alluded to. You guys are actually doing, so right now, I know a lot of podcasts don't date. Today's December 12th or whatever.
Yeah.
And you guys have something coming up?
16th, 17th, and 18th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week. 5 shows. It's called We Need a Little Christmas. And we do need a little Christmas, don't we? Because it's the most wonderful time of the year. Giving you part of my little MC spiel there.
Thank you. Very good.
Yeah, so it's
I'd buy a ticket right now if you had them.
combination of music, magic, and merriment, all centered around Christmas and the holiday spirit. We've got skits, we've got magic, we've got songs, vignettes. Lucy and Ethel are going to be there doing something fun. Santa Claus may even make an appearance. It's going to be a lot of fun. Kurt Ritchie is the man who wrote it, directed it, and is putting this on.
Kurt has been working his tail off. I'm impressed.
Yeah, they're a cast of, 12 people or so. So it's definitely going to be worthwhile. It's $15 for adults, $10 for children, 12 and under. Again, there's 5 shows altogether. Friday at 7 o'clock, Saturday at 11 and 2, and Sunday at 3 and 6. So come
Sundays or Saturday's not a night show.
the afternoon, 11 and 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so 11 and 2. So is your show an hour and a half?
We're hoping it's an hour and a half.
Yeah, not longer. Is what you're saying.
Right.
In intermission, I'm assuming.
10-minute intermission.
So you have
They,
snacks
they
there?
have concessions there, pop, candy, popcorn, things like that,
Okay.
all available for the people.
So if somebody wanted to get a ticket, who do they contact? Who do they call? Is there a
Contact
website?
Grand Magic Theater at gmail.com, where they can contact me or Kurt or on Facebook. Look up John Shango, contact me. We can help you out. Kurt Ritchie, he can help you out. Precious Klein, she can help you out.
Not a phone number as of this moment.
We don't have a specific number, but if you
Yeah.
want to call me, should I give out my number? They can call me.
Give it out. Maybe who knows?
This is John Shango, 219-308-5422 for all your entertainment needs. But right now for tickets, give me a call.
Wouldn't it be funny if this podcast became massive and people just called you?
We might have to edit
Just-
it out at some point
just-
after Sunday.
Or they could come to Colon, Michigan.
Come to Colin at the Grand Magic Theater. Pick up your tickets over there. It's going to be a fantastic show. It's going to be fun no matter how it turns out. It's going to be great. There's a lot of variety going on in the show, and it's all Christmas themed. It's going to be a really fun time, Carl.
Well, so that's kind of a goal of ours, is to get a little more theater in town. And I'm kind of big on community theater. Not actually that I go to a lot of shows, but I just know everybody has their own little slice of life and their own circles of friendship. And, some are at their church, and some are at their Legion, and some are the Boy Scout Club, and some are the book club. And the community theater, when the lady that was here that had it, we're trying to bring her back. Actually, I have a meeting with her first couple weeks of January, and we're going to try to schedule something for spring and summer. Actually, like hard dates, like boom, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, at least
Good.
once a month.
Good.
And there's 60, 70 people that were really kind of following her. Her name is Susan Fruit, and they were kind of following Susan. And you know what? If they can come in and have some fun, and we've all seen it. We've seen good community theater. We've said horrible community theater. We've said pretty good community theater. And I always get a kick out of just being live.
Exactly. My whole thing with community theater, it's community.
Yeah.
It brings everybody together.
Yeah.
Everybody's curious to know if it's going to be good or bad. They don't even care.
Yeah.
As long as they have fun.
Yes. Well, yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not Mr. Artsy theater. If I'm going to watch a movie, I kind of do like I like Tinker Tailor, Soldier Spy. I like that kind of thinking, kind of slower. But I don't want to go to a play and see some dark, heavy, brooding.
Sure.
That's great if you're into theater, but I mean, for community, a little more uplifting.
Well, if
fun.
that's the kind of stuff you like, then We Need a Little Christmas at the Grand Magic Theater this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is just up your alley, Carl.
Nice segue. I will try to be there, and I'll try to. I'll try to get that market.
Tell both your friends, please.
which all two of them, and probably have to pay for their tickets because they're cheap. Just kidding. So, excuse me, that's on film. We'll have to edit that. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. John had said something earlier about, don't you have a cough button? No. This is just a little,
We both have coughs, but we don't have a button.
I don't have a cough. I'm like, I think I drink too much pop. Anyway, I don't know. This board it really didn't cost too much. I mean, the whole setup, it's a little bit, but it's not out of reach. So part of my goal, I'll probably just belabor this, people get sick of hearing that. I think to help these small towns, you alluded to it, the retail's kind of gone. Now you might get some niche, is it niche or niche?
Niche.
That's too.
Well, it could go either way. I've said it both ways, actually.
That's a little pretentious. I'm going to
Do
go
you say
with niche.
tomato? Do you say tomato or potato?
I say tomato. So anyway, to just kind of keep, there's not going to be a retail. I don't foresee, but we do have 2 theaters currently. We had 4. Actually, that's not true. We probably have 3 because Abbott's has a little a stand there, so that would be
Did
considered
many
theater.
shows there this summer,
Rick, yeah, and Rick had a theater. He's gone, Fat Magic, but that could come back. You never know. John has a beautiful theater. I mean, lights and sound. It's John Sterlini
Theater.
It's beautiful, and the Grand Magic Theater, professional again, just professional lights, sound,
beautiful as well.
and it's just fantastic. So
Come to Colon. It's a charming little town. Come and see a show at one of these theaters. Have a pizza at 5 Star. Go to Curly's. Go check out the Legion. See what it's all about.
yeah, I'm always careful not to oversell it because. The thing I said when Keith is on, we're not Marshall. We don't have. You're not going to spend all day shopping.
Nope.
And if you come on a Monday, the bar's closed. But the Legion is maybe open till X amount of time, depending who gets there. So you kind of have to. Currently, you kind of have to plan your trip.
Well, that's always a good idea with any trip.
You call ahead.
Yeah.
If you're right. If you have a boat,
call ahead and make sure the town is open, folks.
yeah, make sure the town's open. But I mean. But I do think we can have. We talked about this. We're hoping to get a coffee shop in town. I really want to push that in the
That
spring.
would be great.
It's a meeting place. It's not a retail, but it's still a meeting place.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about as well. Place for people to gather and do something with a common interest, common goal.
Yeah, and I asked Keith this question, and I'll pose it to you. And I'm trying to look for like a question at the end to kind of ask everybody the same question, and I don't want to be like. What is the most important thing you've ever learned in your, whatever, I don't want to, I just don't want to go down.
Change is inevitable. Growth is optional. That's one of my favorite quotes.
Okay, but I'm not asking that question.
All right, well, I'm telling you anyway.
What I was trying to say is, so if I was going to have somebody on this podcast that you thought that could move Colon forward, in a positive way, and not somebody that you think that there's like I'll give it, not Michael Smoker, not Tim Taylor. Those guys I'm going to have on.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that maybe you and I don't care if it's somebody that you think I should have out that lives in Chicago or your neck of the woods or Traverse City. Is there somebody that I should have on here, and it could be local, that I'm not thinking of?
And you're probably going to have her already, but Deborah Prater from the Coldwater County Chamber of Commerce.
Not Deb. I already talked about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Deb's on. Deb and you are. We are. I'm saying. I do want Deb on.
Yes.
So we have to cut that out, the not Deb. Jess, make sure you cut that out. We have to get like somebody that you and I would not, who I'm not going to think of.
That's a question I don't have an answer to at this point. I don't know. It's a good question. Had you asked me that in advance and hadn't given me time to think about it, maybe I would have somebody.
I want spur of the moment, man.
I wish Lee would do this. Lee Eicher, I wish he would do that.
I'm not saying he won't. I'm going to ask him.
Yeah.
Lee is very techy.
And Lee's got it. Is he?
He is.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
He puts together all the advertisements, so yeah, he does do.
But
all
I mean,
that.
he's got solar. Not that I'm a huge solar fan, but I mean, Lee understands.
The sun is very high tech, Carl.
It's 11,000 degrees, I think.
It's very hot.
But I don't want to measure it.
You can't get close.
Yeah, I don't think I can get there from here.
Huh.
But anyway, so you have nobody. You're failing me.
I'm failing miserably.
You're letting me down.
But I tell you what, Carl, I will not let you down. December 16th, 17th, and 18th at the Grand Magic Theater for We Need a Little Christmas. Come and see the show.
So again, there's no phone number. But you want to sell them tickets. So
Come to the theater. Tickets will be available there.
what if nobody's at the theater? I say theater.
Well, I mean, come to the day of the shows.
They won't be sold out.
Well, you never know, I guess. Again, you can call me. You can email grandmagictheater@gmail.com.
Give that phone number slowly again.
219-308-5422.
5422. That's your personal.
That's my personal number.
Okay. So they could text you.
Absolutely.
And you'll get back with them.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed?
Without question. Yep.
This is the guy that used to answer his phone. One time, he refused to answer his phone if he didn't know who was calling. And this time he was a realtor, and I was like, "What are you doing? That could be $1 million deal." So we're in a car together, four people, and maybe more. And he was in the front, and I was in the back, or vice versa. And I got everybody. I called a bunch of my friends, and I texted a bunch of my friends and sent them his number, and I said, "Call this guy." So his phone starts
blowing up in the car. It was pretty funny.
And he wouldn't answer any of the phones, and I'm dying laughing. He wouldn't answer any of the calls.
Oh, I eventually answered, and they
Did
didn't
you?
know what to say. Yeah, they were like, "Hello, hello, who is this?" Well, Carl told me to call you.
That's right. I do recall. That was hilarious. My friends were like, "What?" I'm like, "Just do it. Just
That was fantastic.
call this guy."
You do need a one-man show. There's no doubt about it.
But who am I? Like I said, line him up.
Yeah, I know a theater that you can go to
Yeah,
and do your program.
yeah. I'm more off the cuff. I don't know if I could.
Yes, you are.
I need somebody there to critique.
I'll help you out. I'll help you out.
All right, well, John, I appreciate this, and this is interesting because with Mr. Stickley, we're at 39 minutes right now. You and I, we're about 45 minutes, and I was like, I don't know if this will get boring, get stale. Are people going to watch it? Are they going to be like, you're an idiot? Should this be a TikTok 1 minute thing where you can advertise for your?
That's a good idea. Snippets. Yep.
Should it be an hour? Should it be?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably just all content oriented. Like if I get the right person on here that has 1 million projects,
Right.
but maybe you do 3 or 4 shows. I have no idea what to do. So we're just going to wing it. We're going to see what happens. If anybody has any ideas, we will have a website up soon. Not yet, but I'm going to work on a website, an email account specifically for this show. Keith had mentioned getting what's called a Google phone number, I guess. I don't really know how that works, but just goes right to so people can actually call, maybe leave a message.
Oh boy, that would have been great to know in advance before I gave out my phone number to the universe.
I don't know how this works. I'm not techie. Thank God I have people that can help me with this stuff. I can barely point and click, John. I can point and click, and you know what? That's going to see me through the sunset, pointing and clicking.
I'm getting older. Every time I point, I get some kind of clicking going on in my bones.
I'm never going to learn HTML, whatever the hell that means anyway. So.
I know more letters of the alphabet than that, Carl.
We're way ahead of those techie guys.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, this is my good friend John Shango.
Shango Magic.
Shango Magic.
Facebook.
They could also call you for a birthday party or any
for
corporate
gigs, anything. I do a lot of events for the towns, for cities, for businesses. So yeah, you want some high quality magic entertainment, comedy, and magic. That's
you'll know who to send them to.
Yep, I got a bunch of numbers.
All right. Well, once again, thank you. I appreciate it, John. And that's all, folks. We'll talk to you more.
Thanks, Carl.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.